Welcome to Tabo Eminent Channel. Ocean Wave Emoji, exploring hidden underwater caves and shipwrecks blends mystery, history, and natural wonder. Here are some key aspects depending on what you're interested in. Thanks for watching. Request you to subscribe the channel. The allure of underwater caves, natural beauty. Caves often have surreal rock formations, stalactites, and crystal clear waters. Some even connect to vast underwater rivers. Mystery and danger. Many caves remain unmapped. Navigation challenges, low visibility, and narrow passages make them both thrilling and risky. Shipwreck exploration. Historical treasures. Wrecks are like time capsules, holding relics of naval battles, trade routes, or even pirate ships. Specialized training. Cave diving and wreck diving are advanced forms of scuba requiring certifications beyond open water. Gear. Redundant air tanks, lights, reels, and sometimes rebreathers for longer dives. Beneath the waves, the world transformed into silence broken only by the hiss of air through the regulator. The light from the surface quickly faded, replaced by the dim glow of a diver's torch as the cave's mouth came into view. The entrance yawned like a dark secret in the limestone wall, framed by swaying sea fans and darting fish. As the diver slipped inside, the ocean seemed to hold its breath, the water cooler, the space tighter, and every movement deliberate. The beam of light swept across ancient stalactites that had formed long before the cave flooded, now shimmering with a ghostly sheen. Deeper within, the cave gave way to a hidden chamber, its floor littered with silt that billowed at the slightest touch. In the stillness, a silhouette began to emerge, the broken hull of an old ship, wedged in stone as if it had tried to escape the sea's grasp and failed. Rusted metal beams twisted into strange shapes, and barnacles clung to the decaying wood. The diver's torch illuminated relics still scattered on the deck, ceramic jars, a corroded compass, and what looked like the remains of a captain's chair. Schools of silver fish flashed through broken portholes, guardians of the long-forgotten wreck. Time seemed suspended here, as if the ship and cave were locked in a pact of silence, preserving their mysteries from the world above. The diver floated weightless, feeling both awe and unease, acutely aware of how fragile the thin barrier of air and equipment was in this vast, alien cathedral. Every flicker of light revealed stories untold, cargo lost to history, sailors who never returned, and secrets the sea had chosen to keep. The diver's heartbeat echoed in their ears as they moved deeper into the wreck, careful not to stir the silt that hung like a ghostly veil over the wooden beams. Every surface seemed alive, colonies of corals had claimed the ship, weaving bright colors into the rusted iron. A small eel slipped out from a crack in the deck, its eyes glinting before it vanished back into the dark. The beam of the torch caught a shattered lantern, its glass long cloudy, and for a moment, the diver imagined the crew once holding it, unaware their vessel was destined to rest forever in this underwater tomb. Beyond the main deck, a narrow passageway led into the captain's quarters. The door, swollen with age, had rotted away, leaving the interior open like a wound. Inside, the remains of a desk leaned against the wall, its wood splintered but still intact. Papers, reduced to pulp centuries ago, had fused with the floor in strange patterns, like faded maps to nowhere. On a shelf, a bottle lay on its side, perfectly preserved, a pocket of air trapped within. The diver paused, hovering, resisting the urge to touch, knowing that even the slightest disturbance could collapse what time had barely held together. Outside the cabin, the cave ceiling rose into a vaulted dome, an underwater cathedral illuminated by shafts of light filtering in from a fissure above. Schools of fish swirled in the beams like living constellations, and for a moment, the diver felt as if they were floating in space rather than water. The wreck seemed less like a tragedy and more like a sacred offering to the sea, a monument hidden away from the noise of the world. But beauty carried danger here. The diver's air gauge ticked lower, a sharp reminder that time in this silent world was fleeting. Turning back toward the cave's entrance, they followed the thin guide line stretched along the floor, its pale string glimmering faintly in the torchlight. Behind them, the shipwreck disappeared into shadow once more, as if it had never been found. The ocean closed in around the cave's mouth, swallowing its secrets until the next daring soul came to listen to its stories. Back on the surface, the diver couldn't shake the image of the wreck resting in that hidden cavern. The salt clung to their skin, but it was the memory of the ship's silent halls and the eerie beauty of the dome above that lingered strongest. That night, under a canopy of stars, they spread their notes across a damp wooden table, sketching rough outlines of the cave system and the wreck's position. Questions pressed hard on their mind. What ship was it? How long had it slept there? And what else might lie deeper, beyond the shadows they dared not enter alone? Within weeks, a small team was assembled, each diver seasoned in wreck and cave exploration. They arrived with reels of line, extra tanks, and powerful lights designed to pierce the blackness. This was no longer a solitary journey of curiosity but a coordinated mission, tinged with both excitement and risk. As they descended together, bubbles rising like silver beads, the leader couldn't help but feel they were trespassing into a place not meant for human hands. Inside the cave, the wreck welcomed them back like an old guardian. The team spread out cautiously, laying lines and marking turns, their beams cutting across corroded metal and clusters of sea fans. One diver signaled urgently. Their light had revealed a sealed chest wedged between collapsed beams. Encrusted with barnacles, it looked immovable, but with steady teamwork they freed it and hovered, awestruck. No one opened it yet. To break the silence of centuries here felt almost sacrilegious. They secured it, ready to bring it back to the surface. As they worked, another diver ventured toward a passage at the rear of the wreck. It sloped downward into darkness, the kind of corridor where one mistake could be final. The torchlight caught something carved into the wood, a faint mark, almost erased by time. Before they could study it further, a sudden surge of current swept through the chamber, clouding the water with silt. Visibility vanished in seconds, and the team's training kicked in. Stay calm, follow the line, trust your air. The wreck had reminded them it was still dangerous, still alive in its own way. They emerged from the cave hours later, exhausted but exhilarated, the chest resting on their support boat under the dim glow of dawn. No one spoke for a long time, words felt small against what they had touched. The ocean had shared a secret with them, but only just enough to keep them coming back. They all knew this was not the end of the story, only the beginning.